What's up everyone, and Merry Christmas if you're watching this video on the day it was posted or any subsequent year afterwards. Let's go ahead and jump right in and get this video started. So really, at any time throughout the year, you may find yourself with extra money. This could be at expected times, such as an end of the year or a quarterly bonus, but it could also just be a gift from a family member or friend. Actually, just the other week I was on a walk and I found $140 on the sidewalk. Needless to say, I've been going on a lot more walks recently. But this could also show up in a situation where you have $300 budgeted for food a month, but you've only spent $250 this month. Now, in order to notice this, you first have to have a budget in place, which I know is pretty simple to talk about, but it is foundational. And a lot of people don't have a budget in place. So seriously guys, just create a budget. When you use a budget, you no longer drain your checking account to $0 right before your next paycheck, but instead you start finding extra money left and right. In the situation where people have extra money, they automatically think about what they can spend that money on. They may find $140 on the street and think that dinner's on me, but that's exactly why I want to create this video and talk about this subject. Not only is spending your money on some random thing or toy a bad ROI, it's creating this habit of spending whatever we get. Even if you're someone who has a budget in place, if you spend your money on something unnecessary without giving it good thought, you set yourself up to be more lenient in the next coming months. But there are two sides of every coin, and if you can make bad decisions with that extra money that create bad habits, you can also make good decisions that create good habits. Now, a lot of people, when they answer the question of what to do with extra money, they'll say things like, just act like it isn't there. And I think that this is a bad answer because I like to know where my money is going, and I think that everybody should know where their money is going. Now, I think a better way to answer this in short is don't do anything with that money that you wouldn't have done in the first place if you didn't have any extra money to begin with. And I think that that's better advice. If you learn to manage your money well, you will find that you keep getting more of it. If you act like that money isn't there, it's just going to sit in your wallet or your checking account, which is probably the worst place for it to be because you'll just spend it. What we want to control is impulse buying. If we impulse buy something with the extra money this month, next month we may impulse buy again, but we don't have any extra money coming in. So let's break it down in order of what to consider when finding places to put this extra money. All right, so the first thing to do is to like and subscribe to help support this channel. But after that, in regards to finances, the most important thing to being financially healthy is the ability to handle emergencies. 40% of American adults won't be able to cover a $400 emergency. So just to put that in perspective, let's say that someone makes $50,000 a year. After taxes, they're probably taking home a little more than $39,000. $400 is only 1% of that person's annual take-home pay, meaning that if they worked the 252 working days that are in a year, they would have only had to have saved just over 2.5 days worth of take-home income to cover that $400 emergency. Now, you should definitely have more than $400 in your emergency fund, and everyone recommends that you have somewhere between 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved. And this is to help you cover unexpected medical bills, car repairs, or just to help you live if you lose your job. Now, I'm following the Dave Ramsey baby steps, so I only have $1,000 in my emergency fund, and I'm using the rest of my extra money to pay off my debt. Once I'm out of debt, I'll bring up that number. I'll probably bring it closer to 6 months just because I'm more cautious, and I can actually see myself bringing it all the way up to 12 months a little later on. But the number isn't important. What is important is that you save up an amount that makes you feel prepared. So if you feel like you want to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved before you start paying off debt, then do that. Make sure that you find an amount that is comfortable for you, that is a minimum of $1,000, and save that up before moving on. Now, if you have an emergency fund in place, the next place to look is debt. Think of it like this. If you have debt, you have a monthly payment that comes along with that debt. So if you take your extra money and you pay off your debt earlier, you've now created for yourself extra money on a monthly basis. When I started doing this, my monthly payment was a minimum of $712 a month. It's currently now at $393 a month. So I've created for myself an extra $319 a month. Now, of course, I'm using this and adding it to my debt repayment so that I can free up that other $393 a month more quickly and I can pay less in interest. But debt is a huge problem, and the fact that everybody treats it as a normal part of life kind of makes me sick. Now, I don't judge people who are in debt because remember, I myself am also in debt. But I feel so strongly about it because I only realized it after I fell into the trap. But I want to help people get out of debt and stay out of debt. There was a Lending Tree study that found that the average consumer paid $1,233 a month towards debt. That's a lot of money. And instead of being able to invest it, they're stuck paying it back because they bought something that they couldn't afford. So if you have extra money, look into paying off your debt earlier so that you can free up extra cash each month. All right, so the third place to look at putting extra money is into a retirement account. Now, hopefully you're taking advantage of your company's 401k or 403b, but if you have extra money lying around, now may be the time to open up an IRA or just contribute this money into an already existing IRA. Now, the nice thing about your company's retirement accounts, such as a 401k or a 403b, is that your company will often match a percentage of your contributions. But it's also nice to have an IRA because it's another vehicle to help you save for retirement, and they tend to give you more options to invest your money into. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about the IRA option because that's most likely where you would put extra money. So for those who don't know, an IRA is an individual retirement account, and you can contribute up to $6,000 a year, or if you're 50 years or older, you can contribute $7,000 a year. Now, you can only contribute to an IRA if you make less than $139,000 a year as a single person or less than $206,000 a year as a married person. Now, the key to having a nice, large IRA account is starting one early, and there's no time earlier than today. So just as an example, let's do some math. If you open up an IRA account at the age of 18 and contribute the maximum $6,000 annually until you're 30, and at the age of 30, you just stop contributing and you just let that account sit. At the age of 65, your account will be worth $1.29 million, assuming that you get a 7% return. Now, if instead you wait until you're 30 years old, but you still contribute the maximum $6,000 per year, and you do this religiously until the age of 65, your account will be worth $400,000 less than the person who only invested from age 18 to 30. That account will be around $893,480. Now, that's still a good chunk of change. So if you're 30, you should still open up an IRA, and there are other investments that you can make that will help close that gap. Of course, you can be that 18-year-old who opens up your account. You contribute the maximum amount until you're 65, and your account will be worth somewhere around $2.12 million. That's cool too. It just kind of depends on if you like extra money or not. Now, if you want to play around with these numbers, you can just Google IRA calculator online and mess around with those yourself. Now, like I said, there are other types of investments that you can make that will help your money grow. And this could be like a personal investment account, real estate, classic cars, or a vintage Star Wars figures, etc. Your best investments are going to be in companies or things that you appreciate and get excited about. Just make sure that the ROI is worth the investment. The next one on this list is investing in yourself. Now, the other ones on this list had to do more with investing for yourself in hopes of gaining more monetary value. What I mean with this one are investments that are mentally and tangibly better for you. Now, this could be buying a book or a course that teaches you something that is either a useful skill or just something that you want to learn. Now, of course, this can have monetary value with it, but when it comes to investing in yourself, make sure that it is something that you want to do before looking at the monetary value it could bring you. The excitement from this alone could help other areas of your life. Now, another way to invest in yourself is to give yourself peace of mind. Now, I have a feeling that a lot of people on this channel are hard workers, and oftentimes people like us forget to take breaks. Using this money to go on a weekend trip or pay for some other relaxing activity can go a long way. Now, I also wanted to throw this one on the list because I believe that when we receive something, it is good to keep that going. So another thing to consider is giving a portion of that money away. This could be finding a charity or a ministry that you agree with and giving them a portion of that money. Or it could just be giving a portion of that money to a family member or friend who recently lost a job and is in need. I believe that we are happier when we give, but first you have to decide that that's something you want to do before you do it, or you won't be very happy. I believe that giving is a part of being financially responsible, so that's why I included it in this list. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. That's all I have for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share this video with someone who you think would get value from it. As always, don't forget to do something nice for someone random this week. See you next time.